All right, we live, Cass. What's up, man?
Nothing, bro. It feel like a new place, man. I ain't seen you in so long.
I- hey, look. So, we. Oh, man, down sports, man. For people that's listening, I know the people on YouTube can now see us. We only streaming on YouTube from now on. So, hopefully the people that was watching from Facebook, man, y'all eventually migrate, make your way over to YouTube and start watching us there. So if you want to catch us, man, we just gonna be exclusively on YouTube for the full show, and then now we'll post some of the content, some of the sound bites or the clips on the other platforms. So, man, but yeah, a lot to go with, man. The thumbnail, says Lakers, right? The breaking news with the Lakers was that they had a power, and this is supposedly from a report from Chris Haynes, and Chris Haynes really don't miss that often. Like somebody like Chris Broussard does, they just be guessing. But so it's it's believable, and
I
he's a
like Chris
reliable source.
Broussard though.
Man, I like him sometimes, man, but he hit a miss, man.
Right, he
He
is.
too tapped in with the go along get along gang, man. He too tapped in with that, man. Yeah, he said a lot of
He,
questionable
I
stuff,
think
man. So
he is, but he is still about his faith, and I think that's why he doesn't have his own show, his own platform, because he is. I want to say he is a minister, and I think that's why certain things he don't do because of his faith. And that's why he doesn't have his
yeah,
own show yet. That's why he's only where he's at, because he don't want to do some of the things that are asked of him because of his faith. But that's a different. I don't want to bring religion into
yeah,
this, but that's why.
yeah. I ain't even got no
At the end of
comment
the
on that.
day,
Yeah,
at the
because
end of the day, man, try to get your bag. But at the end of the day, nothing comes before Christ.
yeah, I mean, I'm with that, but I ain't got no comment on that
Right.
in regards to Chris Broussard. But
Right.
as far as the reports that Russell Westbrook, Anthony Davis, and LeBron James had a phone conversation, they smoothed it over. Despite all the trade rumors, they seem to be moving forward and recommitted to giving it another go at having a successful season next year with that quote unquote big three. So uh we'll start there first, man. If this is true, and this is not some type of smoke screen, all right, we see right now that we can't get this Kyrie Irving deal done. So let's stall it out for a little while, and maybe we can get it done mid-season before the All-Star break, or even before that. If that's not what this is, and they really are 100% moving forward with Russ, how do you see the Lakers season going? Trying to run it back with that squad.
Well, you ever seen a bull? How that saying is, a bull in a china shop? That's literally AD. Like I don't know if his body can sustain yet. Again, I'm a Pelicans fan first and foremost when it comes to basketball, and I try to take my biasness out of everything. But I don't even think this man has played outside of his rookie season. I don't think he's played 70 games in the season. Um, let alone a full season with the what they call it nowadays, the when they taking rest in between.
Low management.
Load management. I don't see that. And to me, honestly, AD is their best player on that team, um, because of what he brings to them on defense. I, just thinking about it, what paint presence does the Lakers have? Regardless of whatever badness Westbrook brings, what paint presence does the Lakers have?
They picked up Thomas Bryant in free agency for he's a decent big man from the Wizards, and then they went and picked up it was one more okay big. So they got a couple of decent bigs.
Right. With that being said, I could have said Dwight Howard. You know what I'm saying? I mean, right. They have bodies, they have guys, but at the same time, respectably, I'm trying to say is the Lakers. I'm not talking about the Grizzlies. I am not talking about the Timberwolves. We're talking about a team who's inspired to win a championship. The Lakers is a team that is championship or bust. So like I said, with the Lakers, what paint presence do they have? If you ever look at the Lakers run, they always had dominant or at least on the brink of all-star potential big men. Always. Any championship run they had, and I know we have our qualms with Pau Gasol, but he was still an all-star or on the brink of it. Every year he was with
Pau was good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. People could knock him for whatever he want. Or was the big man that took his shirt off after he got ejected? I can't even think of his name right now. He was a young guy. Younger. Yeah. He was still a decent big man in a presence. Without AD, they don't have an equivalent big man to step into that. And you can't have AD only play 30 games in an 82-game season. It's not going to do it. So when your best player missed that many games, and this is no excuse because I dislike the Lakers, but I'm being unbiased and taking personal feelings out of this. The Lakers is not going to win or make it the play-in game because how stacked the West is now. If AD does not play at least 60 games, mark my words. I don't see this as life-changing. I don't.
So bear with me, man. I'm having some horrible connection issues with my internet. So it look like I'm delaying when I speak, and my stuff is going in and out, man. Hopefully I can get it fixed. But I'm with you. I mean, so what are you saying you expect from this season then? Are you expecting that AD's gonna be hurt again and Russ still won't fit with the style or the brand of basketball they're trying to play, and they won't be a playoff team? Is that what you're saying you expect?
I don't think they're going to be a playoff team.
And
for one,
why is that?
Well, for one, I'm not as high on LeBron anymore. I'm not. Right now, I think LeBron, and LeBron is one of my top 3 all-time favorite players of all time. So let's not get that mistaken. But I can take personal feelings out of this and be a realist. LeBron is not the same LeBron of 5 or 6 years ago. He's not. And if a person tell me he is, and just how when me and you were going back and forth, and as far as we wasn't arguing, it was just having a conversation. But if a person goes back and forth and just point, oh, he was averaging 30 points a game, yeah, but was that leading to winning?
Yeah,
Russ was averaging.
I was cooking you back then too.
You wasn't, boy. You was cooking with no season, but
I was cooking you.
Yeah, with no season. Boy was cooking. That boy was cooking in the microwave. Look, but anyways, LeBron did Russ triple double any of those triple double seasons translate to winning basketball?
No.
Right. So did LeBron averaging 30.2 points a game last year translate to winning basketball?
No.
Those was rhetorical questions because I know what you was going to say before you even said it. My whole point of saying this is Russ is not the problem. Their problem is 3-point shooting and AD staying healthy. They traded away their potential 3-point shooting in KCP and potential 3-point shooting what they got from Kyle Kuzma. He was iffy, but he still was a lot better 3-point shooting than what Russ give him. And I guess that kind of contradict what I'm saying when I say Russ isn't the issue because they're saying Russ is the issue. But still, when you look at a team it goes beyond a starting five because you still have players that plays important minutes off the bench. You know, it is not just 1 through 5. Some teams goes, 6 through 9. Lakers don't have a 6 through nothing.
They building it.
Yeah, they're building it and they're giving it to us. They're just like that number 8 pick that they gave to us this year. Thank you, Lakers.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. So
did they not give us that 8 pick this year?
Going back, going back to when everybody jumped on me when I said the Pelicans won that trade. You got AD in the Lakers. Okay, you get your boogie ring.
You're asking a person that's wearing a Pelican shirt right now specifically for this podcast. I'm gonna be biased and tell you, like, bro, we just got a guy that was ranked as the 5th best prospect at the 8th spot, and we was in the playoffs. What the hell you think? We just was picking in the lottery, and we just played in the playoffs.
Y'all just lost and got to an ACL though, right?
Oh, that was EJ Liddell. EJ Liddell was the 19th rated prospect. You remember when I had posted it? I thought EJ Liddell was the steal of the draft. You was big on Ben Carroll. The opening game of the year was Ohio State versus Duke. EJ Liddell shut Ben Carroll down, and EJ Liddell won the game because he was sent to the free throw line. I just want to do this because we're talking about the Lakers. Something LeBron is afraid of doing. At the end of the game, he went to the free throw line, down by at one point, made both of the free throws, and won the game for him. EJ Liddell did that. You don't really see LeBron doing that anymore. You never really saw LeBron doing it. And there's no knock on LeBron because LeBron knows his strengths. He's not a 40, 50, 90 guy. That never was his strengths. He's a very high IQ guy. If anybody tell me to this day, LeBron is not in the top 2 high IQ players in the NBA, I'm just going to walk away. I don't even want to argue with you at that point. You know what I'm saying?
Well, there's no way to measure that though, man. It's a lot of smart players out there, and some of the smartest players aren't the superstars. It's hard. It's really hard to determine that. There's an argument for Rondo. There's an argument for Stockton. There's an argument for
no.
Jordan.
That's playing
the game.
Argument
for Kobe.
No. That's playing, Mel. Not of all time. That's playing. I never said of all time. I just say that's currently playing. Current players. Let's not say of all time. I don't want to bring up all time because, like you said, you can't judge. And one thing, I want to say this and leave it as is. Let's stop judging players like, oh, LeBron is better than Jordan or Jordan is better than LeBron, because all we doing is creating controversy because we'll never know. These players played in 2 different eras, 2 different whistles, 2 different physicalities. So we would never know how one.
Though.
It is.
It's great conversation. It is. You know what? It just is. Man.
You know what? Just ignore everything I just said because we are trying to correct it. Yeah. You know what? Just ignore what I said.
Yeah.
But
before I get to my point,
what we were saying. Oh yeah, just back. But back to what I was saying with EJ Liddell. EJ Liddell did. I thought he was the steal of the draft, and that was a good pickup. He tore his ACL, and I don't really know of players who tore their ACL and needed their athleticism and went on to actually be successful. Because when I think of people that
can't. Yeah, but I'm about to inform you. Kenyon Martin broke his leg in college and then tore his ACL in college, and then he tore his ACL, I want to say his second year in the league, and then he tore the other one later on, and he didn't lose a bit of athleticism. So it's it happens. It ain't killing. The last guy I seen ACL kill his career for real was Chris Webber when he tore his. After Chris Webber tore his ACL, it was a wrap. But after that, players been okay.
So I know it's not as big of an issue as offensive players in football because of how the ACL is construed. Running forward is one thing, right? Is the pushing forward, vice backpedaling, right? The thing about defense, all right, Mel dropped off. But let me just say my point. The thing about defense and ACLs is the squatting position. All right, you're back. So the thing with ACL and EJ Liddell was a defensive player. He was a good defensive player because he was a undersized 4, right? He was a 6'7" 4 that even played 5 for Ohio State. The ACL, you got is a squatting thing, brother. And that's what I'm saying. He was a defensive guy. So, but I can't, you just brought up a point that Kenyon Martin did it. And he went on to win Defensive Player of the Year. So it's hard to say that a player can't. And especially with nowadays success. But then I think about cornerback. I can't even think about the cornerback name. He was like one of the most athletic corners in the NFL draft, tore his ACL, and then never was the same. But you hear of ACLs being torn on offensive players nowadays, and then go on to be the same. Adrian Peterson tore his ACL and was 5 yards short of breaking Eric Dickerson rushing records. But you know what I'm saying? It's how the ACL is construed is different. That squatting position vice running forward position. And I just hope the young man, the Pelicans better sign him to some type of contract. I just hope they do.
But back to the Lakers though. Back to the Lakers, right? So I agree with you on a couple of your points. I don't think this season is going to be that much better. It can't get no worse though. So at least another year of them being together, maybe the chemistry is a little bit better. Maybe Russ figure out a way that he can really help. That's not his normal way of being ball dominant. So maybe he can figure that out. So I mean, they can make the playoffs. They almost made the play in this year. So I think if they better the roster, Davis's health, I don't think it's gonna be that much. Missed all of last season, rested up all summer. I mean, he should be fine. I think he should be fine next year. I mean, because his injury that he had was like him coming down on somebody's foot, tearing his ankle up almost, and things. I mean, early in the season, I think he had I think he was dealing with something like tendinosis in his Achilles or something like that. I think that's probably already healed up, and that's probably not going to be no issues. So I think he's healed up from what was bothering him, because that foot and that tendinosis was bothering him in the bubble. So a whole year removed from that, he probably is 100% and ready to go. And I think he'll make it throughout the season, man. They just got to figure out a way to, get some more bigs to bang down low for him, since he don't really like going down there. I mean, I see why he don't like going down there and playing center now. Is his body not gonna survive for some reason. So,
right.
But I think that'd be better. I think they'll make the playoffs for sure.
Mel, I just want to butt in just for this one thing. If that was just a one-off with AD, I would agree with you. But again, that's every year. And I know how you said it was a freak injury that he just landed up on somebody's foot, but it's basketball. Everybody do that. That happens every game because you're playing close to somebody. But how often does everybody tear it? If that's the case, everybody would just tear their ACL or that happened. That happened with Dyson Daniel, our first round pick. He landed up on someone's ankle. Did he tear his ACL? No, he didn't. He landed. There was like, he twisted his ankle. He was hurt, but he was fine to play the next game. But the Pelicans was like, nope, we're not going to play him no more in the summer league. He's a top priority. Bam, you're out. Anthony Davis, he did that. He probably would have tore his shoulder. That's just how it would have happened with Anthony Davis. Like, what the hell? How that happened to his shoulder? I'm just saying, bro. Like they said, you don't start all of a sudden you get older and start getting less injury prone. I can't explain it. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point, you know, but I'm still thinking, like, I mean, it's been other injury prone people. I mean, Kyrie Irving's injury prone, you know, but I just don't see. I mean, there's no way lightning can just keep striking in the same place, man. He can't have that many unlucky.
If you have a lightning rod stuck up your ass
next season, man. Like, he can't keep getting all these bad breaks every year. Like, I mean, he got through the bubble, even though they had a break in between. I mean, you know, the 2020 year had a break in between and got all the way through the bubble, you know, but he could probably get nicked up, miss 15, 20 games this year and still be available more than he was this year. And I think if he can play 60 games, I think 60 is good. If he can play 60 games, that's gonna be good. If LeBron can play 60 games, that'd be good. And we know Russ gonna play 60. So I you know, I don't know if they're gonna re-sign Melo. They probably should move on from Melo. Not anything wrong with Melo, but it's just the fact that
something wrong with Melo.
Russ. No, it's not nothing wrong with Melo. Melo the dude, man. Melo that dude. It's just that I wouldn't build my roster. I wouldn't have Melo as one of my guys if Russ is there, not playing no D the way he do and stuff like that, man. I just rather go get some guys that I can just bench Russ for and go out there and just you know, be a ball hawk. And Melo is not that, so I'll probably move on from Melo just based on how the roster is, not because Melo is not still capable of giving you 15 a game. I think he can off the bench too. So, yeah. What I expect
Melvin, hold on.
All three guys to play more games than they played last year.
I was just like, that's just like telling a female, yo, that's just like telling a female, yo, that ain't nothing wrong with your booty, but I'm just gonna get this girl with a fat ass. Like, bro, Melo defense is horrible. He plays zero. That's the reason why you saying that, brother. I don't
agree with.
Come on now.
He's not. Listen, it's a difference between being horrible at defense and not being known for being a defensive stopper. Melo is not known for his defense, but he's not a horrible defender. He's not a liability on defense. That there are liabilities out there, and Melo's not one of them. Like Melo puts in the effort. He plays D. I think what got Melo his bad name on defense was in his prime when he was playing on the wing, and him being I don't know if he was overweight with the weight he was playing with in New York, but he didn't have the type of body that a LeBron or Wade had, where they were so agile and, you know, and they could really be great defenders. Like at Wade and LeBron's best, their body type and their athleticism let them be a level 10 defender, right? At Melo's best, his best could only be probably 6 or 7. Like he could never reach level 10 just based on how he's built. Level 10. But in the post, but that's him on the wing. But in the post, Carmelo Anthony is phenomenal as a defender in the post.
Because he got that beer gut.
The effort is there. It's just he didn't guard the wing the way other great defender on the wing did.
But that's the thing when you're playing the 3 instead of the 4 or the 5, you gotta guard your position, man. Unless y'all running the zone, you have to guard your position. That's a coaching thing. You have to have your coach just say like, "Hey, Melo swap to the 4 on defense, and have your 4 swap to the 3 on defense." That's a coaching thing, and I guess that's why I'm just saying they blame Frank Vogel on some of the things, some of the issues. But let's go back to the Lakers, right? Let's look at the 8 teams that made the playoffs. What? All right, Mel, you still here? Yeah, Mel. Yo, hello, Mel. Yeah, Mel, you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. So let's look at the 8 teams because you think that the Lakers gonna make the playoffs, and I'm just gonna read history to say that history always repeats itself. Of the 8 teams that made the playoffs, only one of the 8 teams I can say has got worse of the 8 teams that made the playoffs. And I can legitimately say the team that was 9th got drastically better by getting Kawhi Leonard back. So the only team I would say of the 8 teams that made the playoffs that didn't get better was the Mavs, because they lost their point guard. He's now with the Knicks.
Brunson.
Yeah, Brunson. He's with the Knicks now. So the Mavs took a step back. Don't worry about the top 4, right? Because the top 4 are going to be there. Let's look at the 9th seed. The Clippers are going to make the playoffs. Somebody is not going to make the playoffs. That was in the playoffs last year. I'm going to say the Pelicans is going to get better. They're CJ is there. Zion is coming back, right? They're going to get better.
Yeah.
The Timberwolves. What would you say about the Timberwolves? Be tough with
Rudy Gobert.
Right.
I like their chances.
So, who are you kicking out for the Lakers? I'm not kicking out nobody, because I can't look at the Lakers roster and say that they got better. They didn't pick up altering move. They didn't have an altering player to say like, dang, that was the move that they needed to be better than at least the Timberwolves. They didn't make that. Like, who are you kicking out right now of the team of, let's just say, of the 18 plus the Clippers, so 9? Who you kicking out of the 9 to put in the Lakers?
So you said forget the 1 through 4, but I got to run through it for my simple mind. So Golden State, Phoenix 1 and 2. The Grizzlies 3. 4 would be who?
Well, I was just going by who made the playoffs last year.
You said you're taking the Mavs out of 4, so you the Clippers
because
there at 4.
I think you know what? I'm gonna be bold.
All right, I'm gonna be bold. Golden State, Phoenix, Grizzlies.
The Nuggets, bro, because they get Murray back. Murray coming back healthy, and Porter coming back healthy. Right? So you getting your 2 and your 3 back.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah.
The Pelicans 5.
Okay.
Timberwolves 6. Who was the other teams?
Clippers. Did you say Clippers?
I didn't say Clippers. 7. 8.
And then, did you say Grizzlies?
No. I Grizzlies 8.
I think the Grizzlies are come back down to earth a little bit, especially with they're not gonna have Jaren Jackson Jr. for the first half of the season. Probably probably longer.
But wasn't it
I'm not sure
the 2
if
seed?
the Mavs lose, huh?
But wasn't it a 2 seed? They're gonna drop down that much?
Yeah, they were.
I don't think they're gonna drop down that. They're making the playoffs. I don't think they dropping down to the point
every
where
team's getting better though.
You're right. You know what? You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
Everybody's getting better. So it ain't just about if because if they the same, they could still get leapfrog. So if Jaren Jackson Jr. was 100% going into the season, they could still get leapfrog because everybody else is getting busy better. Like you said, you had a Clippers team that didn't even have Kawhi the whole season and didn't have Paul George half the season.
Right.
So they go be in the mix. Nuggets the same thing. Michael Porter Jr., Jamal Murray come back, they go be in the mix. So it's gonna be very interesting. But I think the Lakers, I don't know, man. Like I'm just looking at experience. I'm looking at LeBron. If AD is healthy, I cannot see them missing the playoffs.
I can.
Man, that's just gonna be.
And you know what? And you know what the Pelicans get? Pick swap, because we're gonna make the playoffs and they're not, and we're gonna swap picks in their ass, and there's gonna be another win.
Hey man, that was a beast trade, boy.
There's gonna be another win. I'll pick swap. Be like, oh,
let me get to this comment, man. I feel like the Lakers are going to have a tough time if or when they make the play in, and if they match up with the Suns, Grizzlies, or Mavericks. I think they will be able to handle the Mavericks for sure. I mean, the Mavericks is a one-man show, man. Unless the Mavericks come out and show me something different than Luka Ball, I mean, it's just tough for them. Like, I mean, he got lucky against the Suns, to be honest with you. They played better basketball in the first round against Utah when Luka was hurt. When they played the Suns, yeah, Luka had a lot of amazing games. He had great numbers and stuff like that. But the Suns was blowing them out of the water the first two games. And just something just happened and something switched with the way they was calling the game. And all of a sudden, the Suns couldn't do anything. It was kind of crazy to watch, man. So it had like they would have probably got gentlemen swept if it wasn't for that change in how they was calling the games, man. And I don't know why the NBA saw it fit for them to start calling the game that way, but they did. So not even counting them advancing past Phoenix this year is like something that we can look forward to again. Not why they playing that style of basketball. It's just hard. It's really hard.
You know what it was, and I'm gonna keep it 100% honest. Jay Crowder is the reason why they started calling the game differently. The dude is a flop machine. It's either Jay Crowder or what's his name? He used to play, was the point guard for the longest for the point guard for the longest for Toronto, Kyle Lowry. It's either Jay Crowder or Kyle Lowry, the two biggest floppers in the NBA, followed by Marcus Smart. Those three people alter how the refs call the game, and it forces the refs to call the game in favor of the other team. And you saw it. It was the game. Dang it, Mel, keep falling out.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, and you saw it in game 3 against game 4 against the Pelicans. That was the game where it was the anonymous call when the Pelicans had like 40 calls compared to like 10 calls. I'm telling you, bro, that guy, Jay Crowder, is the reason for it. No, seriously, you're laughing. Jay Crowder upsets the refs because he does things that gets because the refs don't know what to do. They're like, bro, why are you doing this? You're making my job harder. If someone made your job harder, you're gonna, do things to inconvenience them. All right, you won't make my job. All right, I got you. Roger that. And I think that's what happened. I think Jay Crowder put the refs in a vicarious situation that was like, all right, you want to play those moves? I'm gonna start calling calls against your team. And that's exactly what happened when the Pelicans played the Suns. Jay Crowder was doing those stupid those flopping because I don't know if you remember when Jackson Hayes had ran up and hit him with a hard elbow in the back of his back. Like he was frustrating the Pelicans players. I don't know if you remember.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jay Crowder was doing little things.
I'm trying to find a way to fix this daggone connection, man.
I already told you what to do. Dedicate 50% of your Wi-Fi to your computer, to that computer where it's not gonna have a drop off for when your kid's playing Fortnite or something. All you gotta do is go in your router and do it, bro. All you gotta do is go.
I'm gonna do it right after this, man, because you keep telling me that and I keep not doing it, man. It's struggling right now. I done dropped down to low definition trying to get this thing to work. But
that boy back to
VCR. I know, right? But nah, you got a point. But that's my whole thing with the comment that was on there. I don't think the Lakers will struggle against the Mavericks, man. LeBron can handle that by himself. You know,
right?
So
LeBron
with a healthy AD, I think they'll be fine with the Mavericks. The Grizzlies and the Suns, that's a different story. I mean, the Suns go smoke them as long as they still playing. And Chris Paul is, he don't fall off a cliff this season. And the Grizzlies, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I think that they probably was a one-hit wonder this year. I don't think we're gonna see them smoking like that again this season, so but yeah, man, I had some me and you was having some conversations earlier about the Rasheed Wallace thing, right? We're gonna get into that probably toward the end, but I wanted to kind of segue to the Brooklyn situation now since it looks like the Lakers are not moving forward with the Kyrie Irving trade. So does that mean that Kyrie Irving is not going to get traded? And if Kyrie Irving doesn't get traded, does that change the situation? And I guess my question to you is if they were to bring Kevin Durant and Kyrie back just for this season, all right, we'll figure out a trade sometime after the season. Can they come back and do something similar to the Bulls with the Last Dance? Can they just come back and be like, all right, we know this our last season. Let's see what we can get, right? What's your chances that that's going to happen?
All right. I want to start this off with a question. So the Socratic method, answering the question with the question, right? Where is Kyrie from?
Okay. New York.
No. Yeah,
Jersey,
New York.
One of them.
Yeah, Jersey, New York. He back and forth, right? I want to say born in Jersey, moved to New York, then went back to Jersey, yada, yada, yada. Regardless, I think Kyrie's heart is in Brooklyn. He doesn't want to leave. This is my God's to honest truth. I don't think Kyrie wanted to leave. I want to say when he went into discussions, Kyrie was asking the Brooklyn Nets for an unreasonable contract, probably something along the lines of what Jokic or someone was asking for, probably something like 5 years, $200 and something million. And the Nets probably was like, Kyrie, you're out of your mind. But you only played like 20 games last year and you didn't want to get, the COVID shot. So they probably was like, no, we're not giving you that. And Kyrie probably was like, because Kyrie is a strong-minded individual. You can't tell me that brother is not. So Kyrie probably was like, you know what, fine, cool. Me and my agent, we're gonna, go rethink things. And so that's why they waited until the last day, last minute to say if he was going to take his player option. He accepted his player option. After he did that, what did KD do? So KD was like, trade me. I think this is a power move to continue the negotiations for Kyrie. Ain't no way KD could be mad at the Nets towards KD. These people paid KD $40 million to sit on a bench to understand that he was rehabbing the ACL. Ain't nothing the Brooklyn Nets did KD wrong. They got this man, KD's guy, to be his head coach, not Kyrie's guy, because KD felt like, quote unquote, we don't need a coach to coach us. Steve Nash is KD's guy, because Steve Nash is the person who put KD when he was in Golden State, who put KD and Klay Thompson through those vigors of those different training regimens, right? That was Steve Nash. Steve Nash is the person that, they have a bond. So that's why Steve Nash is there. So the Brooklyn Nets did nothing wrong. They never wrong did KD. KD and Kyrie are best friends. So that's just like me and you, Mel. Let's just say best friends. If YouTube did right by me and wronged you, this is your platform, and just say, oh, we're going to fire Melvin, but Cass, we want you to continue to man down. I'll be like, what the fuck? Hell no, that's not even my platform. Like, why would I continue something I didn't build? Nah, I'm out, cuz. Like, no. That's the same thing with DC Young Fly and what they did with Wild 'N Out. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the same principles KD was standing on. Like, no, that's my brother. Y'all gonna give him what he's asking for. And watch, sure as shit stank. They're gonna come to a mutual agreement. KD is not going anywhere because Kyrie is from there, and KD is from a couple of states south of there. So mark my words, KD is not getting traded because nobody is going to go in a hole for a player that's 34 years old. And Kyrie don't want to leave Brooklyn. They're gonna have a sit down as men. Kyrie's going to get $190 million for 4 years with a player option as a 5th year, and everybody's going to be fine. This was just a power move by KD because he's, quote unquote, arguably the best player in the world, and he's using his platform and his power. That is it. Nothing else. Mark my words, KD is not getting traded. These boys are going to the finals, and that is it.
I hope you're right about that. And toward the end of what you said, I started agreeing with you more and more. But at the beginning, you was way off, man. I ain't agree with half the stuff you said at the beginning, man.
It was a buildup. It was a buildup because I was trying to market it as far as.
So I'm not. Yeah, I was thinking while you was talking, I was thinking, okay, I wanna challenge him on that thought, and I want to challenge him on that. But once you got to the end and what you was really saying, I really agree with that end part. I do think that what happened was there was negotiating. Kyrie did want to stay in Brooklyn. He don't want to leave Brooklyn. I agree with you on that. KD didn't want to leave Brooklyn either. They was just trying to make sure that Kyrie was going to get locked up for the long haul because they came over there as a package deal, and KD wanted to play ball with Kyrie. That's what he wanted. So him locking up himself last year for 4 more years and expecting them to do the same with Kyrie after last year, and then they didn't do it. I guess he felt like that was a portrayal. So when you say that didn't wrong Kevin Durant. They kind of did, because they came over there with the impression that, hey, look, you're getting me and Kyrie. And then the plan was, we're going to hoop, and then we're all going to lock up for long-term contracts. And then we're going to be pretty much, quote unquote, married to each other for 4 or 5 years. And then the Brooklyn Nets reneged on that and was like, we're not going to offer Kyrie a deal. And I think the only reason why the Nets didn't offer him the long-term deal is because they was listening to too many talking heads in the media say that you can't rely on Kyrie and you shouldn't offer him a long-term deal. So they was trying to play hardball and say, well, why don't you prove it to us, opt into your contract for this 1 year, show us you can play X amount of games, and then we'll give you a contract. And Kyrie was like, why would I do that? Y'all the one who suspended me last year. I could have played 41 games for y'all last year, and KD would have never got hurt because he would have been trying to overexert himself, and we would have never been in the play-in, and we never would have been an 8 seed playing a number 1 seed. So all of these things that you're blaming on me for not getting vaccinated, you need to take accountability for it, because you suspended me for the other 41 games that I was able to play in, all because you thought that if you suspended me and said you can't play any games, then I was going to turn around and go get vaccinated.
That was in the Brooklyn Nets.
Instead
That
of
was
you
the mayor,
sticking
by
by
the
your
way.
player who was your second best player on your team. No. The mayor said for New York City, you have to be vaccinated to work in New York. So Kyrie wasn't going to be able to play 41 home games in New York.
Right.
But the Brooklyn Nets said, well, we're going to suspend you for the away games as well.
Oh.
They suspended him without cause. You can't suspend someone for not getting vaccinated. They suspended him for not getting vaccinated when the NBA didn't even have a rule against being vaccinated or not being vaccinated. So really what the Brooklyn Nets did, they could be sued and he could recoup that money because not only did they suspend him, they suspended him without pay. So he didn't get half of his salary for that time he was out. Just to turn around and say, shoot, we noticed that James Harden can't really play because the hamstring is not 100%. And we noticed that Kevin Durant is doing way too much. And then when Kevin Durant got hurt, you had no choice but to beg Kyrie not even beg, but ask Kyrie to come back. Right. So like you can blame all of the last season on Kyrie if you want to, but he was available for 41 games and you chose not to let him play in those 41 games. He couldn't even travel or practice with the team. He was suspended. That means you can't even come to the practice facility. You're suspended. So imagine him as soon as they call him and say, we want you to play, and he comes back game 1 and drops 40 and is in shape and sharp as a thumbtack and all that stuff. That's a professional. So I said, I'll let to say this. I'll let you go after that. But them not giving Kyrie Irving a contract was based on how pissed off they was by the unsuccessful season, and they blamed Kyrie for everything that went wrong last year. And that spilled into them getting kicked out of the first round by a sweep, and they just pissed off. And that's when they was like, look, we're not giving him no long-term deal, because they're mad. They was in their feelings, they was in emotions, and they said that we're blaming you and we can't give you a long-term deal unless you prove it some other way that you deserve it, right? And I don't think Kyrie Irving deserved that, and he knew his worth and was like, well, if you don't give me a long-term deal, send me out. Send me somewhere else. And then that's when KD was like, if y'all acting like that to my brother and you knew that we was over here on the package deal, y'all doing like dirty negotiation. This is bad business. I don't want to be here no more either. So that's what that is.
All right. So Kyrie couldn't practice with them because he couldn't be inside of a New York building. So by mandate, he couldn't practice with them. Unless they would have went somewhere else that wasn't a New York Nets facility, they would have been able to practice. But that's not happening because you still need the coaching staff. You still need to implement a plan. You still need to talk to the coaching staff. You still need to do yada, yada, yada. You still have a job at the end of the day. So me personally, I would have, I got the vaccination. So I didn't see getting the vaccination as big of a deal as other individuals. I'm not going to speak up on that because that's a political topic. So whatever, yada, yada, yada. Let's say they spit on a package deal. They didn't spit on KD. KD did what they asked him to do. He came and played basketball. Kyrie didn't play basketball. Kyrie was hampered by some stupid rule that the NBA nor the Brooklyn Nets can control. And if you can't play basketball, I can't pay you. I'm sorry, but I just cannot pay you. It's not injury. That's just like any job. Like, bro, if I had a business, Casimir, personally had a business and you had COVID, I'm sorry, but I'm not paying you. You better, do workman's comp where they give you 30 hours. Like the government can give you 30 hours and, them 10 other hours that you get. I'm sorry. But at the end of the day, I'm running a business. Your health is your concern. Like, I'm sorry, but that's how life is. But I don't want to get personal because we're talking about basketball here. So
hold on. I don't think you're addressing it. I don't think you're approaching it right. Hold on. I don't think you're approaching it right. So you're saying that Kyrie didn't play ball, so you can't pay him. Well, the CBA, the collective bargaining, and whatever the contract says, the Nets had no choice but to pay him. They didn't have an out not to pay him, and that's why he got half his salary, because the games that he missed that was home games because of the New York mandate, the Brooklyn Nets had to eat that money because there's nothing in the contract that say if that happened, they're not going to pay him. What they didn't pay him for was the games they suspended him for. And they suspended him away from the games that he could play in. And it was like, we're suspending you for detrimental or conduct detrimental to the team. So basically they're saying you not getting the vax is conduct detrimental to the team. So we're suspending you for the other 41 games. And those are the ones that we're not going to pay you for because
all right.
Right, all right.
So I remember.
And Dr. Pay. Now, hold on. So why would you suspend him for those other 41 games?
Wait, this is what transpired. So I remember now. It was vague, and I was like, all right, I'm not gonna speak too much about it because the Brooklyn Nets actually was on Kyrie's side when this first started. They actually were, and I remember this. What happened is when TMZ had got a video of Kyrie when Kyrie was actually supposed to be quote unquote doing something, but he went to a Drake concert and was seen not masked, and he was he's not vaccinated. And if you are supposed to be quote unquote coming in contact potentially with our players, like my brother, like what are you doing? You're supposed to be like not in contact with these players, like with these people. That's when the tables turned. I remember that. That's when that situation started. And the Brooklyn Nets, after that, after TMZ had got their hands up on that, that's when the shit blew up. That's just like, if our significant other get caught up.
I don't remember that at all. I don't remember that at all.
While I'm talking,
I do not remember that at all, man.
No, you don't remember.
Okay, go ahead.
You can go because I'm about to have the floor. While I have the floor, just Google Kyrie Irving Drake concert. Just Google it up on your phone. All right. So back to, I don't even know what because I was making a point and you had cut me off. I don't even know what point I was trying to make. But the Brooklyn Nets, like I said, I think they're gonna be Kyrie and KD at the end of the day. I think they're gonna play together on this team this season. And I don't. The only team I see competing with them in the East is a healthy Milwaukee and the Celtics, or Miami. But Miami lost PJ Tucker, so Miami got worse. And this is for me. The only reason the Celtics was in, I know is the we can say this always. The only reason the Celtics was in the finals is because Chris Middleton was hurt. Would you not agree with that one?
The only reason why the only reason why who won the finals?
No. I said the only reason why the Celtics was in the finals is because Chris Middleton was hurt.
Oh, that's tough.
That's
maybe.
I have higher regard for Jrue Holiday than Chris Middleton, but most would say Chris Middleton is Giannis's number 2 because he's a better scorer. But Jrue gives you much more up on the defensive end than Chris does. Would you agree with that statement?
I'm sorry. Would I agree with what statement? I was reading this article on this Kyrie Irving thing. Did you tell me to look up? I'm sorry. Would I agree with the statement of what again?
Jrue Holiday gives you more on a defensive end than Chris Middleton.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with that.
Alrighty. So I don't know how else to beat this horse, but what you have to say, bro?
Hold on. Bro, hey, I gotta figure this thing out, but this junk is horrible. All right, so go ahead. So Jrue Holiday does give you more on the defensive end than Chris Middleton. I agree with that.
All right. Where you think they're at with the negotiations as of right now, as far as Kyrie and KD? Because you don't hear nothing from that camp right now. You don't hear nothing. You haven't heard anything in a while.
I think KD and Kyrie are both 100% either wants to be traded or wants Kyrie to get the contract. And I don't think Brooklyn is going to give in and give him the contract, because the whole purpose of Brooklyn trying to put their foot down is because perception is that they don't have control over this situation and Kyrie is running amok, and they want to send the message that they're in control. They love when it looked like they won the standoff between Kyrie wanting to be traded and opting into his final year. And when he finally opted in, I mean, you could hear the sounding boards on ESPN. Oh, good job, Sean Marks. The Brooklyn Nets won this. Kyrie Irving, who's the peon now? You know, these are things Stephen A is saying.
Oh, so, no. I was about to say that's your best friend that said that. Your best friend came out and said that.
So this is Brooklyn wanted to win that to get their face back, because they feel like Kyrie, crapped on them for 2 straight years. So I don't think they're going to give in and give him the long-term contract. So the only other option is to trade, or because they can't get a trade, Kyrie and KD is going to play one last year and see how far they can go. and then Kyrie's going to walk in free agency, and KD is going to still want to be traded. So, you know,
Did you see
that's why I see going.
So the Brooklyn Nets had proposed a trade to. They actually proposed a trade to New Orleans, and rightfully so, New Orleans had turned it down. They had proposed a trade for Brandon Ingram, Lance, what's his name, Larry Nance, and like 6 first-round picks. Yeah. Oh, you saw the proposed trade?
Yeah. So Brooklyn, every trade involving Kevin Durant, Brooklyn is purposely asking for way too much. Like what they're asking for, they know the answer is no. And so what that creates is hey KD, we trying to trade you, we trying to do what you asked us to do. You requested a trade, we're trying to do it. So it sends the message that we're trying to trade him, but at the same time they don't really want to trade him. So if the team say no, great, win-win. But if the team actually accept that crazy trade, then they're like, oh shoot, that worked. Okay, we'll walk away with 6 first-round picks and 2 good players.
You notice they didn't propose that trade to a team that potentially would accept it.
Correct.
They didn't send a trade like that to the Wizards. They didn't send a trade like that. They didn't send a trade like that to, like, what's a terrible team? Like, they didn't send a trade like that to a team like that. They're going to accept it.
Yeah. Yeah, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. So I'm reading this article on Kyrie though, on that Toronto thing, at the Drake thing that was in Toronto, and there was a lot of red flags in the article because although there were some people in the picture that looked like they had masks on, they brought up a good point. They was like, it's Toronto, like there's no way with the strict rules they had Canada was the most strict. I mean, Canada was so strict that the Toronto Raptors couldn't even play there. They had to play somewhere else the whole season. So they were saying there's no way it was in Toronto at the time. That picture was at the time they said that picture was. Right. So the timing is off on it. Number one. And number two, it was like already in the season when he was suspended, wasn't it? It was already in the season. Like he couldn't play.
No. At that point in time, he wasn't suspended. Regardless of the fact, I had sided with KD. I mean, not KD, Kyrie, because first and foremost, I don't think you should tell someone that they should. Oh shoot! Dang it. Man, this is bad FaceTime. This is bad for airing. I want to raise.
This was a tough one. Go ahead. So you sided with Kyrie?
No, I sided with Kyrie because I don't think you should mandate that someone gets the vaccine. But I also kind of side with a company too. If you don't pay, it's just like how I said, like you get 75% of your pay. I don't think that the Brooklyn Nets should pay Kyrie 100% of his salary. I think it should be like a football contract. It's like, all right, you're still a part of the Brooklyn Net Association. You still my employee. So Kyrie, we love you, brother. So we're gonna give you 75% of your pay for these games, but we're not gonna give you 100%. Because at the end of the day, you wasn't in the court. But we still love you and we still respect your stance.
I think he would have been okay with it. I think he would have been okay with it because he was okay with the suspension and them not giving him 100%. That, like, they took away 100% of his pay for the games he was in it from. And he was okay with it. He was like, all right, that's fair. I mean, he didn't boycott it, and even though it was wrong for them to do that, he didn't sue for the money back like Ben Simmons is doing.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, the owner, he can't get that money back. that money that was guaranteed to Kyrie, that money is up in limbo. That money was already sent to the players coalition. You know what I'm saying? Because of the cap, right? That's just like with the football contract. You know how football contracts is not guaranteed, but let's just say $30 million is associated with the player. But if a player get hurt, they only get $16 million. $30 million still count against the cap. So the owners still have to pay $30 million for that player to the cap. So I don't know why that would affect the owner. He doesn't get that money back. You know what I'm saying? Like the owner still had to pay that money to the cap. It's a cap for a reason.
That's fair.
So that's what I'm saying is like, is just an incentive to get a player to play the game of basketball. That is it. That's why I'm just like, bro, I love you. I respect you for coming to my argument because at the end of the day, Kyrie.
Yeah, but you can't.
Yeah, Mel, we got like a 10-second delay because I've been saying whatever I said and you just not started responding.
Oh, my bad. Look, the incentive to play basketball, I don't understand how that is a response to what happened with Kyrie and the Vax, because what incentive could you have given Kyrie to play when it was not him deciding not to play? It was the Vax mandate decided him not playing. Like, you can't incentivize, hey, go get the Vax like that. Like, I don't think incentivizing players to play matches with what the Kyrie situation is. I don't even think it correlates at all. Like, how can you, what is it the Nets could have done to get a player to put something in his body that he didn't want to put in his body?
I think what it is Mel, is because of these players. At the end of the day, they're not above America. They're not above the common person. They're not above you and me. They're still Americans at the end of the day. If me and you are incentivized by our job to get the vaccination, why aren't they? Like my job at Thermo Fisher.
Wait. That politics in America has, and the average working man has nothing to do with one man. I don't care if Kyrie Irving was playing in the CBA or playing in freaking the G League and wasn't making a lot of money. If he said, all right, everyone's getting a vaccination, I am not going to get that vaccination. That does not correlate to America,
Melvin,
politics.
The first thing I said was I agree with him not wanting a foreign substance in his body. So let's not make it a personal thing. You asked me, so I'm explaining myself. Wait. No, I didn't. You asked me a question. I didn't.
After you said that, undid. No, I didn't. Your initial statement was.
So I said from the owner's perspective, I'm speaking from a perspective of them. Hey, I have these players coming in contact with a 17,000 sold out arena. 17,000 people pay and come to this arena. So you have 12 players for the home team, 17 players for this home team, a head coach, that's 2 more people, 5 assistants, probably like 50 security. You get what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So all of these people are required, is what I'm saying.
You're saying. But what would the Nets have done if the whole team decided not to get the vax?
Well, then that's on them. They wouldn't just have a team, and then those players not getting paid. Just like for the Pelicans, in order for me to go to the game to support the Pelicans, I would have to be vaccinated. So, all right, cool. I see your point from that perspective. What happened if nobody in the state of Louisiana wants to get vaccinated? Who's going to go in the Smoothie Kings arena to actually watch the games? If the players could do it, why can't I do it?
They would have to do something different. I like I said, I think when you had the conversation about why Kyrie didn't get his money, I don't think the vaccination should come into play.
But that's what it is, though.
Little to do with his contract, but they're making it about the vaccination, and that's retaliate. But that's retaliation. That's not. Hey, we don't think you're going to be available this coming season, so we can't give you a max contract. What they're saying is we can't give you a max contract because we're punishing you for what you did to us last year. And that is wrong.
Well, I can't say what's right and wrong because all I know is the COVID is going up as we speak in this world. Main reason I just got 3 days of overtime right now is all right. I wasn't talking. All right, go. I wasn't. It was just a quick point. My plant manager.
I've been stopped talking.
My plant manager got COVID, and 2 other coworkers got COVID. So that's why I was able to get some overtime because of COVID is going up here in California. And I know me and you up in 2 different parts of California, but shit, you got to remember California is the most populated state in America. So hell, if this congested ass state get COVID, man, that's an outbreak. And this state alone has 3 different basketball teams, right? Or 2. The Kings, right. Golden State. Wait, what other teams they got? They got 3 football teams. But my whole point was saying it's 4 basketball teams.
Lakers, Clippers, Kings.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking Warriors. About. All right, yeah. So my whole point was thinking of an owner's perspective, right? You're gonna have NBA players that say, "Oh shit, I don't mind getting the vaccine. I get the flu shot." I'm just thinking about from their perspective, bro. When I gave that answer, I could have sworn I stated, yeah, for the owners, they probably was thinking, yeah, if the average American can get it, then you can get it. That's why. That's what they sat down up in negotiations and said. If Melvin and Casimir can get it, then you can get it. What makes you different from them? That is it. Not this conversation could go on forever, but the facts of the matter is the Brooklyn Nets didn't give this dude a contract. And we both agreed that Kyrie Irving should be playing basketball because I want to watch the brother play basketball. You can't tell me there's 5 other players in this world that plays the game of basketball better than Kyrie Irving because the dude with the ball in his hands is amazing. He's amazing, and I want to watch him play basketball.
Yeah. I want to see him get his money too, but we'll put a ball on it. I mean, the fact that you brought up that we got spikes in California and all that stuff just kind of show you that people that think like Kyrie probably was right. Like
right,
that everyone's pressuring me and saying that you should get this because it's going to help get rid of it, and majority of the people vax and got the booster. And the booster to the booster, and we still have, we still having spikes, So I'm like,
wearing face masks,
yeah,
sanitizing.
Like, okay, so did it work? Everybody got it. Did it work? Or are you telling me the small percentage of people that didn't get vaccinated is the reason for the spikes? You gotta let me know which one it is, but. I'm not gonna shoot too much longer, man. I did have one other topic I want to get to, but I don't think my internet is gonna let us go no further, man. Like,
let's be quick. Let's hurry up and get to it. Let's hurry up and get to it. Come on, put it up on the screen. Right, let's hurry up and get to it.
Let's see how this is a conversation that I can't wait to have with you because you think that they're making super athletes now. And the players that are playing in the league now, like some mutants compared to the 90s and the early 2000 eras, man. So I wanted to chop it up with you about which era, because Scottie Pippen said that this era is tougher and this era is more skilled and the players are and stuff like that. That's a comment that he had made. Of course, he made opposite comments years before, but while he was at the summer league game commentating a liquor game that his son was playing in, he thought he would like to throw that out there, probably to give his son a little boost, right? But nonetheless, we get that sound bite that he said this era is tougher than the era he played in.
You got the sound bite?
And I want to ask you, no, I don't. I don't have the sound bite, but I want to get you. I want to get what you think, man. Which era is tougher, the era that's right now, or the one that MJ played in?
This question can be debated all day, because people that's dusty and put on Bengay that's your age is gonna say MJ era is better, and the young people my age and younger is gonna say this era is better. And I think it's a cross between the two. You got aspects of both that have their finite, which is better. I think officiating from the 90s was a lot better. Officiating back then and how the game was viewed was a lot better. The officiating now is like you said. I think a lot of times is objective, and at the end of the day is entertainment. So certain things is up for call, right? I remember that sound bite from the ref when MJ was playing for the Wizards, and the ref came up to MJ. Oh, I believe you, Mike. He hit you. I believe you. I just remember that. But shoot, that was MJ. Like shit, I would believe MJ. Like it's just certain people that just have a presence that if you see them, like bro, it's just bro. That's MJ. Like bro, but it's like. You look back and say, oh man, Hakeem had the handles, bro. It's like every other 7 footer that's 25 years old or younger has handles nowadays. Like I was just looking at John Butler, the kid that the Pelicans had for their summer league, 7-1. Dude went 6 for 6 from the 3-point line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Keep talking.
So
I just
no, yeah, all right.
I just want to show you David Robinson's handles. Keep talking.
I mean, but all right. So the kid, you see a kid that's 7'1" that can shoot the ball that just basically went 6 from 6 from 3. Like that's a common theme. And he didn't even get drafted. He went undrafted. So the funny thing to say that like back then versus now, like I think the skill set of the now and day player is better. And I don't think you can compare.
What you think about the skill set that you're watching on screen right now of David Robinson at 7 foot?
Bro, I don't as I'm looking at him, it's stiff. Like I don't see the flashiness. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
That shake and pull up right there,
bro. It's not Kyrie. That Kyrie-esque shit. It's not what you would see nowadays.
He's 7'1".
I was just telling you. I just told you. Go look up John Butler. Pull up, yo. You got your YouTube. Share, yo, do go to John Butler and pull up John Butler summer league game. John Butler, just look up his summer league. He's 7'1", and just
I'll look it up later. But let me make this point. So you bring up a 7 footer that can shoot the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Can you go in the 90s and find a 7?
Yeah, Manu Bol was a good shooter.
Forget. Okay, but forget about Manu Bol. There are other 7 footers or 6'10 or 6'11 guys who were shooting the ball like that. Sam Perkins was one of them. Detlef Schrempf was one of them. Like Sabonis was one of them. Like,
I mean,
you can't,
all of those players
you can't,
was drafted.
right? But hold on. You can't find a unicorn in this era that didn't exist in the 90s era. You really can't. Name one. You can name Giannis, and I show you David Robinson. He's doing the same stuff Giannis was doing. The only difference is
David Robinson couldn't Eurostep.
He just did it on that video I showed you.
It was in a Euro.
He just did it. Are you serious? And it's called Eurostep for a reason, because it was originated from Europe. So we wasn't. I mean, just because there's a move that was made famous by European players, and we wasn't doing it over here, doesn't mean that no one could Eurostep back then. I just seen David Robinson do it.
I know the exact
kind of naturally, but it wasn't like a known move.
It wasn't nasty.
But my point is, can you hear me good?
Yeah, I can hear you, brother. I'm just interrupting you. Oh, you broke up. Oh, shoot. Oh, you're back. You're back.
Yeah, but how do I get rid of this? But yeah, like I was saying, the biggest difference is let's just go with the big men. You got big men that shoot it a ton now, shoot a lot of threes, and they can shoot the threes. And then you got 6'10" and up guys handling the ball. And what the average person would think is, oh wow, that's amazing that we have that ability now. And they would assume that the 7-footers and the 6'10" guys back then did not have that ability. That's not the truth. The truth is they had the ability, but coaches wouldn't allow.
Mel, you're breaking up so bad. I was trying to hold it in, but I can't even hear you now. For the past 20 seconds,
they're not doing it now. They did it then. So someone like David Robinson, a 7-foot that's 235 pounds, automatically is playing the center position, and he's going to play the paint. He would have been exactly what David Robinson was. He would have most of the time. We would have never seen him in a point forward that often. We wouldn't have saw it. And
yeah, hello. Yeah, Mel, you was breaking out real bad, but I think I got the gist of what you were saying. Oh, snaps.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end it, man, because I got.
Dang it, man.
Oh, go ahead, guys. I'll let you.
Let me. All right. So my point was saying, like, bro, at the end of the day, the game of basketball is not too complicated. It's a child's game for a reason. I never say that the players in the 90s or 80s couldn't dribble the ball or couldn't Euro step or couldn't put the ball in the hoop. You just went to the top of the list. I went to a guy that didn't get drafted. EJ Liddell was quote unquote 19th overall pick that got drafted in the second round. Joker was a second round pick that was a back-to-back MVP, big man. That's not Mel. That's the point of is that you can find that this is plentiful now. Like nowadays, the focus of having your kid play basketball and do these things and finding a David Robinson is more plentiful than what it was in David Robinson days. David Robinson was one of a million. Nowadays, David Robinson would be one of 100. Like literally, like you would be able to find it. It would just be being